Hey guys, in this video, I'm gonna give you my exact school funnel that gets me 20 plus ready to buy leads per week for my high ticket coaching offer. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Andre. I run a consulting business helping high ticket coaches scale their dream business and become what I like to call unlocked creators in the process. Basically live their dream life and actually build a business that fuels that and that gives them freedom. So if you're someone who values freedom, you're in the right place. This video is going to be perfect for you. So here's what we're going to cover. We're going to take a look at the leads engine. This is basically your 24/7 running engine that brings in qualified leads, because obviously the biggest problem in terms of running a coaching business is you don't have enough leads, right? And enough qualified leads at that. And then we're going to take a look at why you should even use Skool in the first place. Is Skool good for your coaching business? We're going to take a look at that. Then we're going to take a look at how you can actually set up the Skool. I'm going to give you my entire formula so you don't have to sit there like being all confused, like what do I put here? And then we're going to take a look at how you can actually get traffic to that Skool. And in the end, talk about how you can actually close people. But for this, I'm going to do a separate video in the next one, in which we're going to do a deep dive into all of my systems to help you actually close people. So this is what we're going to cover today. And if you know me, you know I'm all about clarity, speeds, and actionable systems that you can take right now and implement into your coaching business to actually get results. So let's dive in. Okay, so for the first thing, the leads engine. This is basically the entire mechanism, the entire funnel, and what I use to bring in qualified people nonstop every single day that are ready to buy. It all starts with Instagram. Why Instagram? Because Instagram is great for brand awareness. So I'm just gonna write this down. So we have brands awareness. So you're gonna post Instagram content, short form content to quickly attract people that are interested into what you have to say. And then from Instagram, what I do is I simply send people to a simple VSL, which is basically a YouTube video. How complicated, right? So this is just a YouTube video in which I basically explain my unique mechanism. So I'm gonna write it in here. So this is the unique mechanism. And I basically do a deep dive into my world, into my unlocked creator OS, and into how I do things, including everything in this with like the leads engine. And so basically I bring people from Instagram to a YouTube video, get them basically to watch more of my content, to build more trust. And then what I do is I bring people onto my free Skool community, which is basically the hottest. So this is like the hot leads, the hottest leads who are ready to buy. And also what I'm doing with this VSL page, I'm sending people to my DMs on Instagram, in which I basically sell them through the DMs without any sales calls, without any like hassle. I basically have a conversation with them. I see if I check if they actually saw the YouTube video. And then if they did see that, I basically just send an offer doc, like a document in which I'm basically presenting my entire thing and what I have inside my inner circle in Unlock Creators. And this is the entire thing. And then from the free Skool, I'm just gonna write it in here. From the free Skool, once they're there, they are ready to buy, and you move them to your paid Skool. So this is going to be a separate community, the inner circle, and then into the one-to-one mentorship with you as the coach. So this is what I'm doing. Instagram for brand awareness, posting short form content, YouTube, a YouTube video. I call this your hero video or your staple video. This is the video in which you're basically explaining your unique mechanism. You give people a breakdown into how you're doing things in your own unique way. You get them to view this, and then you want to move them to the free Skool, in which in here they're super hot leads, ready to buy, ready to ascend into the paid Skool and then finally into the one-to-one. You want to build this because people from Instagram, if you are to sell directly from Instagram, no other like touch points, no other like piece of content, they're just not like, they don't have that trust with you yet. So the purpose of the free school community is to bring them closer to you in an intimate kind of like group where you can give them, and I'm going to show you the entire structure, how you can, like the formula for structuring the group. But inside that group, you're basically going to give them more value. You're going to introduce them to your entire system that you're using for the one-to-one and the paid school. You're going to give them a tease for it. You're going to have conversations with people, post a lot of value inside of Skool, and actually sell through the DMs on Skool privately. And the purpose of all of this is, again, is to build trust, is to nurture people. This is the overview. Now let's actually dive into how you can set up the free school, what you can put on it, and all of that stuff. So how do you set up your free school group? Well, I'm gonna start from something that is like really essential for you as a coach before we dive into the formula. As a coach, you need your unique mechanism, right? So I'm just gonna write it here. You need your unique mechanism. This is basically your unique, predictable process that brings your clients results. And I recommend using the classic formula of 3 phases. So you have phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 to deliver those results. Now, this formula can be used in any niche. Let's say you're in the fitness industry. You can have the first phase, which is basically you diagnosing, like the client making a diagnosis, like basically providing the client with the best plan for their nutrition, for their training. The second phase could be something like advanced, sort of like strength training. And the third phase could be nutrition or something like that. So you essentially bring people results through a predictable system. And my system, for example, is the Unlock Creator OS. This is my model. And I have 3 phases. I have the offer genesis, which is the first phase. The second phase is the leads engine, which basically we're covering in this video. And then the third phase is the client's ascension, right? So I basically move people from building their offer, their coaching business, their brand, unique brand, making sure they know exactly who their soulmate client is and what they need to offer. I cover the leads engine, make sure they can bring in leads 24/7, and then the client's ascension part, which is basically closing and moving people from free members to paid members and paid high-ticket clients. So you want a unique mechanism, 3 phases. Now, what you can do, how you can set up your free school community. Let me actually wipe this off. So how you can set this up, you want to basically split your like entire program, not into courses, right? Because like, I'm sure by now you guys have like been in school communities, which just literally give you so many courses that what ends up happening is if you have like, you know, if people enter your free school group and they see all of these different courses, guides, PDFs, they're just going to be overwhelmed, right? And you don't want that. What we want instead, so we do not want this. What we want is to give them like a clear path, right? And I'm going to put it up on my screen, but what I have inside my inner circle, instead of courses, I have levels. Instead of you having 50 courses, 40 courses that just overwhelm you, I have levels, level 1 to level 6. What I'm doing inside the free school, so this is for the free school. This is what you're gonna set up in your leads engine. What I'm doing is super simple. I have the first level, so this is level 1, unlocked. Pun intended, unlock creators. So I have this unlocked, right? And then I have level 2, level 3. You're gonna see it up on the screen. Level 4, level 5, and level 6. Hopefully you guys can see this. And these are all locked, right? And obviously, in order for you to access the rest of the levels, you need to get into the paid school. You need to get in the inner circle. And how it works, I only move people to the next level. I'm talking about the paid school here. Once they implemented everything and all of the exercises and all of the systems inside the current level. So for example, if you are to join our inner circle, you start at level 1, you implement everything, the offer genesis, every exercise, and you guys can see this into my free school down below. So you can actually see what I'm talking about. And once you implemented all of this inside the inner circle, we move you up to level 2 and so on and so forth until you literally, like in a game, you cover everything, you level up, you get cool badges, and then you basically complete the classroom. And inside of the classroom, we have all of the systems required to build your coaching business. Now, think of this like a Netflix show. What you can do, let's say you have the Netflix show is like 3 seasons, right? So you have like the phases. So you have the big season 1, the big season 2, and the big season 3. Now, what you can do is you can put this for free, available to anyone in the free school, and then you can lock, I'm just gonna try to make this, then you can lock level 2 and level 3, like the seasons, right? And what you do is you give them all, like the entire season 1 in your show, right? Again, this is an analogy. You give them the entire season 1 for free to basically get them into your own way of doing things, into your system. And you make sure, obviously, every single one of these phases or episodes, or you can call them however you want. In my case, is levels. You can call them like phases, episodes, parts. You make sure they're bangers. Like you make sure it's incredibly high quality, because what you want is for people from the free school, once they came in from the Instagram, YouTube, remember like the leads engine, once they came from there, you want to make sure they actually go here inside of level 1 or phase 1 for them to be able to start their journey within your unique mechanism. And as long as you really do a killer job here, what is going to happen, I promise, they will become fans of your show. And think about it, like imagine your favorite show on Netflix, you see it has 6 seasons and you watch the first season, you love it, but then you're like, oh, like the next couple of seasons, the rest of the seasons are locked, right? And you naturally, what you want is to unlock all of these as you go. And that's basically the selling point. So you basically set this up like this. You split up your unique mechanism into 3 phases, 3 iconic phases for, you name each one of these in a really like cool way that's on brands. And then basically you can deliver these 3 phases, so 1, 2, and 3 for your process across multiple episodes or multiple levels. That's what I'm doing. And the idea is to make them fall in love with the journey, with the entire like show, quote unquote. You present an overview of what's gonna be ahead, and then every point of the lessons and modules inside of level 1, you're gonna have like a simple CTA for them to unlock the rest of the levels or episodes or seasons, however you wanna call them, right? With a simple offer document that basically presents the entire thing. We're gonna do a deep dive into that in the next video, but this is basically how you can set it up. Hopefully by now this makes sense. You can literally apply this right now to get ready to buy leads every single week. Now I wanna give you guys a really cool nugget here, which you can instantly do with the free school. So we have IG here. People move from IG again to the YouTube, right? The big video. So this is the hero video in which you present your world, you present your own unique way of doing things. And then, so this is YouTube. And then from there, obviously the free school, which you're building. Now, once they're joining in here, what you can do on school, you can set up an auto DM that is basically an automated message when they join the school. So someone joins, you send a DM on school automatically. And this can be, and I'm gonna give you the nugget. So this can be like something super simple, like, hey, hi John, great to have you. And you can do something like, great to have this. You can do a typo, right? And the reason you wanna do this in the auto DM, I know it may sound like super simple and like basic. The reason you wanna do this is it gives you a reason to follow up. So in case they haven't follow up, in case they haven't replied to this first message, this is the first message, you wanna send them a follow-up, and you can do something like, hey, sorry, I made a typo. Like, how's it going? And essentially what you want to do with the free school, you want to immediately move people as soon as they join, tell people to really like, hey, go inside of the level 1, watch level 1, and essentially have a conversation with them, because the sooner they move into your entire system with the levels, with the seasons, then the sooner they're ready to buy. And also what you can do with the onboarding, because this is so important on Skool, onboarding, you make a big post and you pin the post at the top on Skool in here, you pin it with basically a simple Loom video in which you tell people literally like, hey guys, these are the levels that we have inside. Right now you have access to level 1. If you go on my free school, I literally have that there. And you essentially, again, the purpose of this is to move people to the level 1. I know it's a chaotic whiteboard right now, but like bear with me. So you move people to level 1 with auto DM as well. Like send them a DM. Hey John, great to have you, great to have whatever, like do a typo. That gives you a reason to follow up in case they didn't respond. You do an onboarding, a big Loom video at the top, you pin that, and basically you move them to level 1, and then you are engaging into conversations with them, because this is what you want. Once they're in there, once in the free school, you basically want to build a true relationship with them. Even if they don't buy, trust me, a lot of them will. You will build that like genuine, relationship. And that is invaluable, because so many coaches, so many creators want to jump immediately to a sale without even like building a relationship first. And that's why sometimes, especially when it comes to sales calls, you will struggle. And the entire model, our entire model is like not needing sales calls at all. Just sending some messages, building the relationship, and giving like so much of the right amount of value, and essentially introducing people to your unique mechanism, and then they will join the paid version. But this is the entire idea. Now in this next part, I want to show you how you can bring traffic to your free school community so that you can actually get ready to close them. So how do we bring people to our free school? How to get traffic? So again, I'm just gonna write this down. So we have Instagram, we have YouTube. These are the two biggest drivers and content platforms that are gonna bring traffic to your free school. Now, what I wanna tell you is try to avoid creating content as a coach that is like, tips and tricks and advice people can find on Google. And I talked about this in the previous video, which you can check out, but soulmate messaging is a huge thing. And I'm gonna break this down. So this is the thing that we're using, soulmate messaging. What you want to do to bring traffic to your free school through Instagram and YouTube, you want to speak to your clients' feelings. You want to speak to how they really feel deep within. And the thing is with Instagram is awesome for bringing in a lot of leads, a lot of like eyeballs. Like last year with Instagram, I got over like 50 million views from Reels alone, just on that channel, and over 190,000 followers on Instagram. However, Instagram is not the end-all be-all, because you also have YouTube, and YouTube is amazing because you can build so much trust. Like I've had clients that even with like 200 views on YouTube, they managed to sign people. So with YouTube, you don't need like that many eyeballs. What you want is to really speak to their entire situation, how they really feel. So that's the thing. With all of this, what we're doing is we don't want to like be generic. We don't want to be like, just another coach that creates generic content. No, we actually want to create that type of content that literally describes their current situation. So the point is, when you're creating content on Instagram, on YouTube, when people see that content, you know what they got to think? They got to be like, wait a minute, like it feels like you're in my head. Like it feels like you're literally like there with me, right? And so once you create that, obviously once you bring them to the free school, that's gonna like have such an impact combined with like the levels and everything that you have in there, that is gonna get them like really, really ready to buy, because this is the purpose of all of this. So essentially for traffic, what you wanna focus on is a couple of things. So I'll just write it in here. So we have organic content with IG plus YouTube, right? And then what you can do also is running ads on Instagram. So ads for Instagram. This is basically, you make a reel in here, and then you just boost the reel straight from the app. And what you want to do with this is basically run ads that bring in followers. And as you bring in followers, you send them where? Remember, you send them to the YouTube VSL. You basically send them to the big YouTube video that presents your style, your way of doing things, and then you send them obviously to the free school. And essentially you will get to a point where nurturing is going to be like second nature to you, and it's going to be like so easy to have conversations with people that you don't even, that's the thing, you don't even have to like struggle to sell. You don't have to jump on a sales call, convince them, beg them, right? Like I made a post about this. It's like convincing is like a funny word, because it means that we're starting off like the call at a disadvantage as the coach. We're like trying to change their mind in a way. We're like considering like, oh, you know, this person is against what we're trying to offer in the first place, right? So we're not trying to convince people. We're trying to nurture people and speak to their soul, speak to like really their situation, the things that they're actually, like the shit that they got in their minds, the things that they really don't want to talk about, but they feel deep within. And watch the previous video I posted, how to make content so good they can't help but buy from you, because that's so amazing. That's talking about the entire soulmate messaging. But this is how you bring in traffic. So again, you create soulmate messaging content. You don't just create tips and tricks. You speak to their situation, how they feel. With organic Instagram plus YouTube, try to double down on YouTube, because it's, especially in 2025, like long form content like this video is essential. You can run some boosted ads for Instagram, really simple videos. You don't have to go crazy with it. And then you essentially bring all of those people back to the YouTube video and then to the free school. And hopefully this makes sense. And again, you can apply this no matter what niche you're in right now. Try to make sure you're not one of the, one of the generic coaches, because let me just quickly wipe this. What people do is they come up with, let's pick a niche. Let's say fitness. So I'm gonna do a wrong and a right, you know? So wrong is like the educational stuff. I know my handwriting is not the best, but bear with me. So educational versus, this is like the soulmate messaging, right? So with educational, what like most coaches do, they're like, you know, here are 5 ways to lose weight, which is indeed valuable, but it's not what really makes them buy. So it's like 5 ways to lose weight, or, you know, try my workout, like do this thing to gain muscle, all of these different things. But they're speaking to the surface level problems. Whereas with the soulmate messaging, this is like, you can start off a video like, have you ever like tried everything to lose weight, but it feels like you just cannot do it. It feels like something is wrong with you and you're feeling like shit. You're feeling like nothing is ever gonna work. Like, have you ever felt like that? Well, if you have, here's the thing that you can try. Here's a workout. Like, here's my own unique way. Here's the wrong way to do it. And then here's the right way to do it. Here's my own unique way of doing things. And this is basically the biggest difference, because most people, they sit here and this basically speaks to problems. Hopefully you guys can actually read this. So it speaks to problems, but this in here speaks to actual feelings and how they feel deep within, right? And this will actually turn them into clients, into loyal high-ticket clients, instead of just talking about like basic stuff, which they can essentially find online. You don't want to be that. You want to be a thought leader. You want to be someone, an unlock creator, someone that deeply understands them and forms a connection with them. Because look, in this game, with the leads engine, with getting traffic, it's not about getting millions and millions of people in. You know, obviously that's awesome, but it's about like getting the right people in. It's not about like getting rushing to get everyone in. Because as a coach, again, and I've said this plenty of times, you guys probably know this, like if you want to help everyone, you're going to end up basically helping no one. And so you want to focus on your soulmate clients, and you want to approach them with the soulmate messaging approach. Speak to how they're currently feeling. So hopefully that makes sense. Now for the last part, closing. So from the free school community, you can basically close in the school DMs, having a conversation with people and essentially asking them what they're going through, pointing them towards the level 1, the first thing in your classroom, having a conversation with people, and then essentially like just asking them for permission to like, hey, do you want me to like send you our offer documents for what we have inside of the inner circle of the paid school, right? And you just send that, and that's how you close without a call. And then you can close through organized workshops as well. Again, sending them the offer documents, and then through IG DMs as well, just sending the document. And the entire thing with this closing is you nurture them in here. You create such a strong bond with them. You show them, you give them a sneak peek, what's inside of your inner circle. You give more value through school DMs, through workshops, through Instagram as well, and you just have conversations with people, and you basically send them an offer document that presents your entire offer, right? So you don't have to jump on a sales call and essentially like beg someone to buy your coaching. So these are kind of like all the main channels. Now, there is so much more to this with closing and launching your offer, basically like creating demand, creating urgency, all of this. So I'm gonna break down all of this in the next video, which I'm gonna drop tomorrow. And you're gonna find it on the channel, which is basically going to go into the client's ascension system that we're using inside the Unlock Creator model, which basically turns people from free members into paid members, and then obviously brings them into the one-to-one mentorship, which is the highest ticket offer as a coach. Obviously, you can offer masterminds and all of that, but this is basically it for the closing. Now, remember, with all of this, don't jump into just sending the offer document to random people, because this is not what this is about. You want to nurture first, have conversations, send an offer document, and then close and make money. So if you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Watch out for the video tomorrow. Watch the video I just posted with creating content, because that's gonna really give you some amazing insights. And if you like all of this stuff, if you like my chaotic kind of way of writing, and hopefully my charismatic way of explaining things, I'm actually running a workshop this Sunday, March 9th at 1 p.m. EST. You're gonna have the link down below, and inside of that workshop, we're going to do such a deep dive into all of this. And this is the surface level of how I'm doing things. And inside the workshop, I'm gonna do a deep dive, and you are gonna get like the most amount of value in a webinar so far, because I hate generic webinars that just barely scratch the surface. I'm all about giving it all away and giving you a full behind the scenes into how I'm running things. And what I told you here, this is legit what I'm doing. So hopefully you got value from this one. I'm gonna see you in the next one.